Boop. Boop.
What is going on, everybody? What is going on? Welcome to this week's episode 253 of the STS Guys. I'm Jeremy.
Hey, it's Larry.
And I'm Scott.
And we are the STS Guys, a sometimes monthly podcast where we sit around, shoot the shit, and talk about anything geeky, nerdy, and cool. What is going on this week, guys?
Well, it's first episode of the year, 2024.
Yeah.
2020. Dude, it's
only 20 days into the new year.
Like I said, it's weird to think that it's 2024 because it doesn't seem like 20 years ago was that long ago. But when you start to think about it, like, holy shit, that was 20 years ago.
Yeah, kind of, right. The Y2K, like, for whatever reason, that's the first thing I thought of. Like, that whole Y2K thing was 20 years ago. Yeah, 24 years ago.
Yeah, that's nuts.
A lot's happened in
happened
in 24 years.
But it doesn't feel like it's been that long.
We're not kids anymore.
No.
I have to actually look it up and see what happened in 2014. So let's look at what happened. Or no, I don't want 2014. I need 2004. No. Good Lord.
Yeah.
You mean 20 years ago?
Good Lord. 20 years ago.
It's very confusing.
Any major world events? Oh, the bird flu. If you guys remember that,
I remember that.
I remember the bird flu.
That was like the COVID test. Like, hey, let's see how they handle this.
Yeah.
Nobody
cares.
We'll get the big one. I said here in 2020.
Yeah. So let's see what else happened here. NASA's Opportunity rover landed on Mars.
I think I remember that. Weren't there like pictures of Mars? That was like the thing. Yeah. I vaguely remember that.
I'm looking at here, and there's a whole lot of nothing in 2004.
Well, Scott mentioned. I said before. I said Scott, before he did maths. Like I said, it's your excuse. Like I said, it's nighttime. You don't do maths at night. So.
I see. That's the problem. See, this is the problem. I've been having to write dates on a lot of stuff because, like, I just had for my daughter's karate, we had to fill out like her practice sheet, and you have to put the the dates and stuff. And I continually have been writing 2024 as 2014 for some reason. I don't know why my brain is stuck on that, but I can't.
You jumped back 10 years.
Yeah. Scott did earlier this week. He pulled up a time capsule from 2015.
Let's.
Yeah. I said he was going through. He was finding some stuff. So Scott, I'll let you kind of share that.
Uno
story.
memento here.
Yeah.
I gotta find it again. I gotta find it again. So give me a second. So pre-story. So Jeremy and I, when we worked together. All the way back in I believe this was 2015. We'll see. We'll double check the date. 2015. At one point, we had gotten some swag backpacks that had come in that we were going to be giving out to a couple of people. Part of one of the things that we did for the job was we would order the swag that they'd hand out to like the operations people. And at one point, they were these little, I'm going to call them little backpacks, right? We were laughing because they were these like little tiny backpacks.
Like a mini backpack?
Not like a mini backpack. They were supposed to be a normal size backpack when we ordered them. They came in like 3/4 of the size in which we anticipated that they would be. So they were not like made to be small. They were supposedly normal size backpacks that just happened to be significantly smaller.
All right.
And so Jeremy, being 6'3" or so, thought it would be a great idea. He put on one of said tiny backpacks, and I snuck a photo. So
we have a question from the chat before we show the photo. So Ed wants to know, like I was thinking Loungefly too, like so bigger or smaller?
Bigger than a Loungefly.
A little bit bigger than a Loungefly.
Again,
so like a kid size.
Like a 3/4
size normal backpack.
Right.
Okay. So maybe like a kid's
They were not made for children.
No,
okay. These were supposedly made for adults for work. They had laptop slots and everything.
Okay.
Made to fit like a full size thing.
Yeah,
it is going to still take me a second because I have a couple thousand photos that I found on this flash drive. But anyways, so back in the day, we had this flash drive. It was the first one I've ever seen that you could plug into a computer or take off the back and plug it into a phone and download your photos from your phone. Cool. So I had a few thousand photos on a phone at one time.
Yeah.
And downloaded them on this flash drive and just found it randomly the other day and went through and found a photo of Jeremy on here.
Well, at first he's like, who is this guy?
Yeah, at first I was like, who is this guy? Who are all these people? But so give me a second. When it pulls up, it's loading all the photos. Like I said, there's a few thousand. It's going to take a little bit of time.
Yeah, but then I said it was a blast from the past. Like I said, so to say.
It's
I mean, it sounds like this photo is a good find, but it sounds like it is a good find in general, right? Pictures you haven't seen for over 10 years.
Right.
So that sounds fun. I think I have that's like everything since Ian was born. I've got like all Ian's baby photos and because that was like a digital camera and stuff. That was pre.
Yeah. Now most of these,
phones.
I will tell you, most of these pictures at one point or another have been loaded back up onto like my photo backup server.
Okay. So they weren't totally lost.
They weren't totally lost, but it was one of those things where I wasn't looking for these type of like you don't look for a photo. Like let's go look at 10-year-old. Yeah, I'm not going to go back and be like, let's look at these photos from 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Right. So
fair.
So like it's kind of to that point, like photos from that long ago, like so me and Scott used to send fucked up shit to each other
a lot.
So one of the things I'll try to find it. One of the things that I forgot where Scott was. I think he was in some type of meeting, to where. I'm like, I was recreating basically the terrorist attack of basically with a toy plane. I said running into stuff.
So while I'm in a meeting with higher ups in our company, I get this little like stop motion.
I made a stop motion video of a toy plane
crashing into like a Lego building.
Yeah, like man, that was messed up.
We used to do lots of really. The things I used to terrorize Jeremy's wife too, who also worked in the building. When she would do interviews, I would go stand in front of the window because they could always see out. Like the candidate couldn't see, but she could, and I would do the "We can dance if we want to. We can leave your friends behind."
And she's trying to focus and be professional.
Yes.
Like, tell me about a time.
And I'm doing some dumbass safety dance out in front of the screen.
Well, anyways.
So let's continue. Here, since somebody say the thing.
I believe the thing you're saying is, it's been a week.
It's been a week.
Did that actually play for anybody, or did it just glitch out?
No, I heard it.
Okay,
it's just you. Sometimes it does that. Like sometimes I love StreamYard, but it always seems to play. It seems to play for real, but sometimes like we can't hear and see it.
Yeah, no. For me, it was just us being like all muted.
Yeah, just sitting there. Like,
and I was like, I don't think it's working, guys.
It works.
But yeah, anybody do anything over Christmas or?
I did a few things.
Did you? Cool.
Did a few things. So one of the things that I said that's been open for, it'll actually be a year in March. I said here in Austin is Joe Rogan opened up a comedy club.
Oh yeah.
I said in Austin, which is called the Comedy Mothership. It's on 6th Street. It's actually cool. It's a super cool venue because, like I said, there's split into 2 rooms. So basically, and they're named after the atomic bombs that they dropped in Japan. So one's called Fat Man, one's called Little Boy. But like I said, in the big room, I think there's maybe like 150 seats, and in the small room, there's 100 seats. And then you don't pay there's no ticket that's over $40. Like I said, I said to go and watch a show, right? And so the thing is, I said, is you never know, like I said, like who's going to be there. So like, right, if you go and see someone, like I said, like, you can, like, so they have like pre-scheduled guests and stuff like that. But sometimes, like I said, like they'll release tickets like for like week of, like, oh yeah, like Joe Rogan's gonna, like I said, do a show. It'll be like Joe Rogan and friends, or like
special guest.
Yeah, like this and friends. And so typically, like I said, he'll actually bring whoever he's actually has on the podcast. Like I said that week. Right. So like Dave Chappelle's, like I said, stopped in, and you know, like Gabriel Iglesias, and like all these bigger Theo Vaughn, all these bigger comedians, right? Which is kind of funny, just because, like I said, if you were to go and see those comedians, like I said, out, like I said, buy their actual tickets, like I said, some of their tickets are like $150, $200 plus, especially if you're like seeing like Chappelle, right? But like I said, you don't pay over $40, I said, for these tickets. And then there's I said, I've now like learned the system of basically like how to get good seats within this club. So you line up basically like 45 minutes before the show, and you say like, hey, I want to go hang out in Mitzi's, which is basically, hey, this bar, I said, that's attached, I said, to the venue. And they're like, okay, like that, like, and this bar holds maybe 30 people. Like, if that.
It's pretty tiny.
It's literally a hallway.
Okay.
It's a hallway with, and there's like.
Is it kind of like the garage bar in terms of like size of people?
Smaller.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I said, if you've been in a garage bar, it's smaller than garage bar. So there's like 3 booths, and then there's like like seating at the bar. And so you go and hang out there, and then they let basically, I said, anyone who's in the bar, like I said, into the show, like it's like 20 minutes before it starts.
Nice.
So you get like seated up front. So
cool.
Yeah. So I went to a couple of different shows there. I went and saw, I said, Joe Rogan one night, Ron White. I said another night. Like it was a lot of fun. It was ton of fun. And the nice thing about the club too is, like, right, it's I said, because like, so what they do is they lock everybody's phones up. So you can't actually have your phone, which actually makes it kind of cool, because then they basically say like all the messed up stuff that they can't be usually caught as being recorded on.
Like you can't record me on this one.
Yeah, and some of it's like really, really messed up stuff. But I don't know. I think it's what makes comedy funny. Movie Can't Ask, I said, Jeremy, what type of figures do you have? I said, in the background. Those are all Iron Man hot toys. I said, this room is just purely dedicated to Iron Man hot toys. I have a whole different section of hot toys in another room.
I think that needs one of these.
That's hot. That's hot. That's hot. That's hot. That's hot. That was hot. That's hot. That is really hot.
Yes, I said I do need one of those, just because I actually just got a hot toy. I said in the mail. I actually just got a hot toy. I said in the mail. I said the other day, which is probably one of the coolest figures that I've seen in quite a while. So I'll pull up the image of it real quick. So. Present, share screen, share. So this guy just came in the mail the other day, which is from Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Dead Strange.
How big is that thing?
It's freaking massive. like the wingspan on it's probably like 24 inches. I said like 2 feet, at least 2 feet across. And like I said, it's a crazy figure. Like probably the craziest figure that I've actually gotten in a while. That's actually not an Iron Man figure. So yeah, like that was super excited to get that one in the mail. Like I said, I'm actually having trouble figuring out where I can put it, just because of the wingspan on it.
Yeah, it takes up too much space. You can't put anything else with it.
Is it the wingspan? I'm assuming it's just the wingspan really that makes it
Yeah, it's just the
It's big.
wingspan. But like I said, the coolest thing, right, is like I said, kind of like in the movie, right? Like I said, he has, like I said, when he does like the crazy like arm thing, they're all like zombie arms. I said they come out, I said they come out the back. So yeah, it's a pretty cool figure. Like, not gonna lie, like probably the coolest hot toy that's come out in a while.
Nice. I'm glad you got it. Looks super detailed, right? Like you said, all those zombie arms and stuff. Like they all have their unique details to them. Like it's super cool. That's what makes hot toys special, right? Like this is the perfect figure or character to try to make into a hot toy.
So Movie Cannon says I was only picking him up, but it's pretty pricey. I said couple things. I said with that. Like I said, learn to master buying from China. Like I said, they're buying directly from China. Buying directly from China, utilizing some shippers. There's ways to start to drop those prices.
Well, and you got to, like you said, you got to be okay with the ones that are, these probably fell off a truck somewhere, right? Or disappeared out the factory.
Yeah, like I have, like I said, I don't even know how many hot toys I have now. Like it's probably
gotta be a lot.
I know it's at least over 100 figures.
That's crazy.
And then, like I said, honestly,
it's crazy,
the Iron Man's alone, right?
Yeah.
Like I said, there's 12. There's 18. Like I can't do maths right now. There's 18. There's 18 Iron Mans. I said me, and then like an Iron Man is at minimum $400. But yeah, it's just like I said you can find them. Yeah, if you can avoid, like I said, Sideshow does some pretty good stuff. But but you can. I said there's ways around not getting
buying a full Sideshow.
Yeah, and then like I said, the biggest thing is, like I said, if you're okay waiting, right? So I'm like, I don't need something right now. I don't need something, like I said, when it releases. I don't need something. I said, like, hey, I said the day it comes out. So like a lot of my orders for hot toys, like I said, I'll place overseas, and then it'll be like a year plus out, like before I even like I said see the figure. I'll lay the money out, like I said, a year plus out in advance, and then
you kind of have to at that point.
Yeah,
that's fine, because like you mentioned before too, right? Like then you just get little surprises in the mail throughout the year. Like just things start showing up, and it's like, oh yeah,
what is this package covered in stamps?
Yeah. The best package I've ever gotten. I've showed it on the podcast before. And I said I literally got a package that was shipped where the entirety of the package was covered in individual postage stamps. For like individual Chinese postage stamps.
So instead of paying for upfront for this postage, just was literally surrounded.
They wrapped the entire package in Chinese postage stamps.
Which 50 also I feel bad because somebody then had to go and count all of them to make sure there was enough postage to make it.
Well, I said my one favorite thing about that package, though, is besides it being wrapped in complete postage stamps, was that the person who mailed it tried to recreate the American flag with Chinese postage stamps.
Nice.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, right. They did the stripes of the box.
They did the stripes of the box with Chinese postage stamps. I was actually pretty impressed.
That's their art.
Yeah, it was definitely art. But yeah, no, Dead Strange. Like I said, super happy. I said that I wasn't super thrilled with the movie. But the figure,
it was okay.
And there was cool parts of the movie. That was one of them. And the fact that out of everything they could have made out of that, that being the figure, at least was something I'm like, okay, I at least like that, Yeah,
it's super unique. And who cares? It's like I said, it's a cool character. So, the chat has another question for you from our friend Ed. Jeremy, have you stopped buying comic books?
No.
I think this is in reference to your Comic Fury Instagram page that probably hasn't had anything new posted in several weeks.
Yeah, that's me being lazy.
It happens, right?
Well, you had a good run going there for a little bit.
No, I had a good run. But honestly, I said it's still buying comic books. I actually went to the comic book store earlier today. I hadn't actually been in about 3 weeks. Actually had my pull list was my box was like overflowing. Honestly, Ed, work has just been insane lately. Like I am basically a one-man team. I said, because I said, my friends don't work with me anymore. So I said a lot of different work has fallen on my shoulders. So like I said, between travel and just work itself, it's been kind of crazy. So I'll get back to it. It just right now it's
now that you've reminded him, he's like, oh, I better actually go do that.
No, it's not even that. Like I actually thought about it the other day. Because someone actually I had like multiple people reach out to me like, are you okay? Like, are you dead? Like what's going on?
Well, it's funny because I hadn't posted anything since August. And then I was scrolling through my like on Instagram, right? I was scrolling through my camera roll and I saw like those AI pictures I made like in August, and there's still like some that I hadn't posted. I'm like, you know what? I feel like I need to make sure people know that I'm still alive. So I posted something this week.
Right, I'm gonna have to abandon the tiny backpack because for some reason I cannot find this photo now.
To be continued.
To be continued.
At a future episode. Of
I will find it. I will post it up.
Yeah,
someone will say Jeremy tiny backpack. There's just too many to go through. And it's this old. This is a flash drive from
2015.
At least 2015. It is not the highest speed reading for this number of photos.
No, and it's to scroll through. Yeah, like it loads weird, right? Yeah, like
and it loads weird. So every time I scroll, I have to wait for him to load all the pictures.
Ed's still alive. I'm also just kind of taking a break from social media lately too, just for other reasons.
Yeah,
you join me on my almost permanent break where I don't post anything.
I still check in at least once a day, but I check in less. I feel like there's multiple reasons to that. One would be the diminishing interest in Funko related products, or nothing interesting new coming out. There's no announcements, all that stuff. There's not that necessity to check in as much as there used to be. So things change, right?
That happens. That happens a lot. Like where you're like, I really like this stuff, and you're like, oh, it's not really fun. I've obsessed over it too much apparently, and now all the fun is dead. That's why. You're like, I don't want to do this anymore.
And Funko doesn't post anything themselves anymore, but that's all right. There's still the quality content like Ed's Star Trek page, and that kind of stuff, and but it's just it's not like I need to check it every hour like I used to.
Right? Yeah, like you're like, oh, just once a day is fine. I can go on once
get the highlights
day, every couple days. We'll just figure out what everyone else is doing, and then go, oh shit, I missed some stuff.
Yeah. Or then I start looking at Disneyland pictures, and then it's like, I just want to go to Disneyland.
Never mind.
Did you find the backpack?
I did. Give me a sec here.
The anticipation.
Yeah.
So this was billed to us as a normal size.
Right.
Well, this is also Fat Jeremy too.
It's so Fat Jeremy. But this is what they call it. This normal. It's like a 3/4 backpack. It is the thing that we thought was the most hilarious thing. It is. It's tiny, right?
It is.
Like as an adult backpack. It is a child's, not quite a child's backpack. It's bigger than a child's backpack.
Yeah.
But then, as Jeremy, like I said, being larger stature, putting on the tiny backpack.
It's okay, Scott. It's okay. You could say it's Fat Jeremy. I say it's Fat Jeremy.
That's fine. I'm fat. I'm a fat guy too. It's all right.
That's before this guy right here.
It is
the thing.
If I saw you walking around with that on,
it is oddly small.
It would be. You go perplexing.
Why is that guy wearing that tiny backpack?
Yeah, I would do a double.
Yeah, you're like, what type of what is the purpose of this backpack? It's made to be like, this backpack is for a 13-inch laptop and a 13-inch.
That's the weird thing too, right? Like you said, it's got the laptop part, but it's tiny.
Yeah. But 2015. That's 2015. That's 2015. Jeremy and Scott.
5/12/2015. Nice. So the reason why we took the photo was for the tiny backpack. The reason why we brought it up was, it's not often that you get to find a little time capsule of some here's a picture of you from 2015 that I have.
So, in retrospect, as Scott was pulling that up, I'm gonna try to pull this up. I'll have to share it on my phone because I don't know if I can send it to me. So. We had a boss at the time who was a very, very, very short lady.
Person.
So like very, 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 very short person. I said, so you saw the backpack on me.
Yes.
So this is the same backpack.
Oh yeah.
On our boss.
on our boss at the time.
Yeah. It's like it's normal size. This is the best backpack I've ever owned.
It was an oversized.
That was oversized. Yes.
I said on her, which is funny because like I said, as I was starting to look through the photos, I'm like, I found that. I'm like, oh yeah, there's another backpack photo.
It's like that episode of The Simpsons where Homer goes to clown college and he gets the clown pants and he's like, oh my god, these pants fit better than any pants I've ever owned before.
Look, and like there's young
Scott.
There's young me. Yep. 2015 me. Yes, sir.
Nice.
Hey, so okay, I got this. Since we're just going off on randomness at this point, right?
What else do we have to talk about?
Can I tell you what I did? Can I tell you what I did today? Hey,
yeah.
The backup story as to why it's significant.
You went somewhere, right?
So I did go somewhere. I went to a little town out here. It's in Texas called Fredericksburg. There's a bunch of wineries and things. It's basically just like a mini Napa, right? And like every mile, there's like multiple wineries as you're driving down the road. If you like wine, it is a great place to go. We decided to go to one that also doubled as a animal rescue, like an exotic animal rescue. So as you're driving up, they have buffalo and zebras and stuff.
Okay.
They do little safari tour things.
Which are all legal to own in Texas.
Which are all legal to own in Texas, right? So basically, when people buy these sort of things, and then they realize, oh, this is a wild animal, not a pet. Yeah. This place is what kind of takes them in. They are also a winery. So they have a winery in the middle of their little animal preserve.
Cool.
So I tell you this story to tell a different one, and then I'll come back to what happened. So because of the concept of there's not a lot of things that are illegal to own in Texas. In fact, the law implicitly only says what you can't have, not what you can have for like animals in Texas.
Yeah. So if it's not on the list, you can have it.
It's not on the list. You can have it, right? Lions, tigers, that sort of shit. Yeah. That's on the list.
A bear, probably.
No, you can
get a bear. Oh my god!
Yeah, bear.
You can technically own a tiger too. Like the tiger.
You can own a tiger, but you have to. There's things that are like these aren't these things you have to go through other stuff to get. Right? Yeah, you can still get them, but they're called out that you have to take extra steps. Anything else you don't. And there just happened to be a discussion that there is a lot of kangaroo breeders in Texas.
Sure. And I think we've had the conversation on the podcast before, right?
We probably did at some point.
Maybe.
Where me and Scott, got on a tangent one time about basically wanting a pet kangaroo.
Yeah. Maybe. So I want a pet kangaroo. That's like my thing. That's my goal. I want a pet kangaroo.
Okay.
So, and I found a breeder. I found a place that has them. You can buy them. You can pick them, like purchase them. They're not as expensive as you would think. No. They're like, I think their designer dogs are more expensive than me going to buy a damn kangaroo, to be honest with you.
I think my French bulldog was more than the kangaroo.
More than a kangaroo, yeah. So just realize that it is significantly less expensive than you think to buy one.
You could purchase.
Yeah, it's reasonable for a couple grand to get one, okay? And so my whole thing is like, my mission is that I want a kangaroo. So as we are going to this place, lo and behold, this place has a bunch of other animals. Among them are a couple of kangaroos. So we're like, oh, that's cool. We took some photos. They're in like a pen, right? You can't go in there. You can take photos from afar. It was an electric fence. I found that out the hard way.
Oh, God.
I touched one of them. I was like, wonder what this wire is. Man, I was like, that is an electric fence. Because they can jump over it. So they have an electric wire at the top to keep them off. Go into this. We go to the winery. We start talking with the guy who's like the owner, right? And he's like, hey, we still got some spots available for a thing we call the hop and sip at 4. And we're like, it's 3:30. And we're like, what is hop and sip? And he's like, oh, you get to go tour, like go do the walking part of the safari tour, which is all like, they have some of the little New Zealand, like yellow and black pigs. You get to go see like the alpacas and the goats that they have, like the pygmy goats. You do this little walking thing. Then when the safari people leave, they let you in, like the caretaker or whatever takes you into the pen with the kangaroo, and you get to have one-on-one time with the kangaroo.
Cool.
So, yeah, that's me and a kangaroo.
Nice. Nice. Very cool.
Yeah, me and my buddy now. It has solidified my desire now. It has put in concrete my desire to get a kangaroo.
I'm just saying, right? So I don't have kids. But if you did have kids, and Scott does, right? Scott does. Imagine, I said, going to school as a kid. I thought, like, you know what? You're walking around the neighborhood. You're not just walking a dog. You're walking a fucking kangaroo. I said, you're gonna take that memory to the fucking bank. Like,
exactly.
You're the kangaroo kid.
You're the kangaroo kid.
Yeah.
Like,
remember just to be the flex when kids come over to your house. You're like, you guys want to go outside and pet the kangaroo?
You gonna go play with my kangaroo?
What? You have a kangaroo? Yeah. So, hey, I what if I'm going to tell you this. I did not realize this because I have actually never been face to face with a kangaroo up until today, other than my desire to want the kangaroo, right? You know, have you ever had pet like rabbit fur? Like how, like, you know, it's soft, right? Yeah. It's very soft.
Yeah.
So, kangaroo softer.
Really?
It is. Oh,
I would guess
it
more
is some of the
horse-like.
softest fur I've ever had. I'm like, no, very, very velvety,
cool.
Soft.
You know, so I was just thinking, right? Like, you're talking about the kids and go in the backyard, see the kangaroo. Like, that would make for like a really fun birthday party, right? Like, everybody would want to come to your house for your birthday party. But then I'm also then my mind goes to, this sounds like a business opportunity.
Yeah,
you rent out the kangaroo, right? And you bring him to other people's birthday parties on the weekends, and then you're like the kangaroo guy. And then before you know it, this kangaroo is paying for itself.
Yeah,
it's just a.
There's like an Uber petting, like an Uber kangaroos.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. There's your side hustle or whatever you want to call it, right? Your small business. Yeah. You get a bounce house too,
apparently,
and some folding chairs, and you got a business.
And you got like, so you take pictures with kids with
$5 extra for a picture.
Apparently, they love carrots.
Yeah.
So
HEB sells carrots.
They apparently love carrots. So you just dice up some carrots, hand them out, right?
Ed brings up the point. The kangaroo is probably kicking the kid's ass. No, Ed. There are different types of kangaroos. So these are, I think, they're called like red, like.
So these ones, there's red and gray kangaroos.
Yeah.
They only get to like. I mean, if they stood up, they're like 6 feet, but they're only like 3-4 feet tall.
Yeah, they're really tall.
Full size, whatever. I don't know the ones that are like. Normally, like adult human size.
They're not the buff, like the buff ones that you see. Like,
they're not the buff ones you see
on the TikToks that are like beating up dogs and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, so you go into these. You got your party business. You just make the parents sign a waiver.
Gotta love the Twitch chat bot.
I deleted it. Shout out to that guy. Right, you just have the parents sign a waiver, and then if one kid happens to accidentally get kicked in the face, not at fault. Not at fault.
Again, right? The memory. Like, hey, how'd you get your black eye? Got hit in the face by a kangaroo.
Dude, it's not a black eye, dude. That's got a big ass toe claw on that thing.
You got like brain damage.
How did I get the gash? Kangaroo gash.
Yeah,
that's more like it.
Well, what's the scar?
So that's
kangaroo. Story for life.
I'm telling you, like I said, like, because you're not gonna not tell people that your ass kicked by a kangaroo.
There's a lot of dignity in that, right?
There's a lot of dignity in saying it's like oh no, like oh my multi-poo scratched my eye out and so I lost my eye. No, guess what? No. I got my eye clawed out by a kangaroo. Like I'd buy that guy drinks. Story. I'd buy that guy drinks. Like, absolutely. You know, every bar I go into for the life. You know what? Guess what? Drinks on me. Like, you're the kangaroo guy.
That's going at the top of your Tinder profile. Right?
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm not horribly deformed.
I got this fighting a kangaroo
when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like, who would not want to meet that person?
Yeah. I would. Yeah. I mean, I'd be like, was the kangaroo at least?
Heck, I'm not even in the market, and I'd want to be, and I'd want to date or meet that person.
Right?
Like, kangaroo,
right?
Like, if I look this bad, you got to see the other guy.
And kangaroo.
Yeah, like, I'm going with the guy that got in a run-in with a kangaroo.
Pretty tough.
There's at least a story there of some kind.
I agree. I like it.
That actually kind of reminds me. I don't know if I might have told it on the podcast before, but if I brought up like I've always had an obsession with weird pets. I guess like of that sort of thing. Years and years ago, when I was 15, I had a job in the winter. I'd deliver Christmas trees at the Christmas tree lot because I was a 15-year-old with a truck and needed money, right? So I would. Sure. People would buy a Christmas tree. They didn't want to tie it to the top of their car. So they would pay the extra money. I would put it in the truck and go deliver it, right? Deliver to the most normal looking house I've ever delivered a tree to, right? Just normal looking place. Putting the tree in the little tree stand, setting it up, right? Part of the little Scott, white glove service. I'll get it in your tree stand. We'll get it set up. We'll get it leveled out for you. As I'm doing so, the owner of said house fails to tell me that they are an owner also of an exotic pet. That pet was a cougar.
Jeez.
Who,
you need to tell people that.
As I am, you should probably tell the people that are in your house.
Strangers who are entering your home.
That there is a cougar, not in a locked cage of any kind, just freely roaming in your house. Now, I don't know if he forgot and just did put it in a cage, or if it even had a cage. I didn't find out this information. I did, as I make the joke, I almost pooed my pants because I am there tightening the screws on the bottom of the thing. Look up, and there's a goddamn cougar in the room with me now. That's making that little like cat, like that really deep growl purr thing that they do.
Yeah.
I did get to pet the cougar. I will tell you this. It was very friendly. I did get to pet it once I stopped having a heart attack.
Yeah. Oh, he's friendly. He's friendly.
He's friendly. I'm
like, I put the dogs up when somebody comes to our house.
You forget. You just forget to put your cougar away.
How do you forget about your cougar?
No, like that's gotta it's gonna make someone terrified. Like, so I have 3 dogs, right? And so one of my dogs, like,
it's bigger than a cougar.
Like I said, if you don't know him, he's absolutely terrifying looking.
Yeah,
because like I said, he's a 220-pound dog. Like he's
big dude.
He's giant.
Yeah.
Like he's giant. Literally the nicest out of all 3 of them. Out of all 3 that I have, literally the nicest one out of all 3. But like I said, he freaks people out. Like he freaks my neighbors out. Like I said, we went and dropped him off for a bath today. He freaks the people out. I said just because he's so big. Like how do you like not lock up your cougar?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you think about it. It's like you're walking around with like, I'm guessing probably average 150 pounds. I would say is probably a good, 150-pound kitty with murder mittens.
Yeah.
You don't lock that up, or at least tell the person, hey, I have a pet mountain lion.
Yeah.
You might see
be
it
cool.
while you're dropping off your thing.
Just be cool, and they're going to be cool, and it's not a big deal. Super friendly. He hasn't bit anybody yet.
Yeah. Did not.
Okay, sir. Yeah. I'm just gonna leave your Christmas tree outside. You can do the rest.
Oh no! Once I found out it was friendly and pettable, I definitely took advantage because I'm like, when am I ever gonna get a pet a mountain lion again?
So when you say, hey, I pet the cougar. That has that can drift into so many different types of conversation.
Right. Yeah. That's why I kept having to be like, I shouldn't say cougar because that sounds a little bit more on the dirty side. It was a mountain lion.
Yeah.
Nah, this episode is now called Pet the Cougar.
Pet the Cougar.
I said I approve of that episode name.
Yeah.
I like it.
Anyways, Larry, what was your shenanigans over?
Dude, I don't think I did anything. It was like a super quiet Christmas, a Christmas break. I got COVID. That was fun. Like COVID. Like for the first time ever, I tested positive for COVID. I probably had it before, but my wife talked me into going to urgent care, and they did the whatever nose test thing, shoved things halfway up to my brain, and they're like, "Oh, guess what? You got COVID. Go home, and we're not going to give you any medicine." Thanks. Yeah. I sat here for 2 hours. And
so did you lose your sense of taste?
No, like it was. So apparently, like this variant, right? This variant is more like a sinus infection. It just felt like I had a bad sinus infection. So I was fine. But work has this slowdown period where like no meetings. You're supposed to do the bare minimum for like 2 weeks. I lost my first week of slowdown because I was sick. It sucked. Lame. I was looking forward to slow down like all year, and then like I'm sick, so it didn't happen.
Boo.
But yeah, like other than that, Not so much, man. I don't even think I didn't go anywhere. I didn't watch anything. I didn't really buy anything. Like it's been a pretty quiet couple of weeks. We did yesterday. We were out. We went to dinner, and the restaurant we went to was by a movie theater. So Friday night, right? I think it was like 8:00. Sun was down. Like it was dark. 8:00. We were by the movie theater. The parking lot for the movie theater was maybe half full. Like, because I was thinking, like, because as we drove by, I'm like, oh, are there any movies we could see? I'm like, not really. Like, but
there are no movies.
Nobody even goes. There's no, like, it was just kind of surprising to me, right? Like, there's no reason to go to the movies anymore. And like maybe half full. Like it was dead on a Friday night. Like movie theaters are in trouble.
Because right. So now that's right. You have basically the whole, like I said, year lag of the writers and actors strike.
Yeah,
right?
There's nothing coming up.
That pushed everything behind.
Yeah,
and then like every single movie that's come out has just been like
bad
dog shit.
It's been real bad. Yeah,
especially the stuff we like, right? Like there hasn't been good superhero movies. Maybe that Aquaman movie's out. I didn't see anybody say anything about that. Aquaman 2's out, isn't it?
Aquaman 2 came out.
That was sent out.
I never watched the second Shazam. I never watched Blue Beetle. I watched
Blue Beetle was fine.
I wanted to I'll watch it at home. I forgot about it.
I watched it at home. I
forgot about it. I started Shazam.
It's better than Black Adam and Shazam 2.
I started Shazam 2. I stopped it. It was not good.
Yeah.
Did anybody watch what Marvels?
No, I didn't watch Marvels.
No, me neither.
I haven't been going to. I literally have not gone to the theater.
Yeah, you haven't gone in a long time.
I haven't gone to a theater. Although my wife and I were talking about this. We bring up theaters. What is with the whole thing that musicals are coming back, but they're not being like advertised as musicals?
Like the Mean Girls movie?
So Mean Girls movie is a musical.
Yeah.
The Wonka prequel that they've been pimping for a long time. That's a musical.
I did not know.
They did like I don't know how to call it, right? Because that's a musical. The Color Purple was a musical. That they did a version of Color Purple. I
didn't know that at all.
Right?
I knew the Wonka existed.
I know the new Joker movie is supposed to be it's
a musical.
Yeah, with Lady
But at least
Gaga.
they're telling us up front like that. The other three I just mentioned, I've seen ads for, but not a single ad has said that this movie is
musical. Interesting.
There is nothing out. Although, I love me a bad concept horror movie, right? Like the dumber the concept, the better.
Of course.
Night Swim. For anybody who needs to go out there. I haven't seen it, so I don't know if it's actually good. But basically,
is that one where the water kills people?
Basically, where they're out in the water, they're in their like their pools are killing them when they're out there swimming at night.
I remember like hearing about that. Like,
yeah. So
Ed brings up two shows that came out recently. And did you guys see that there's a TED?
I did see the TED thing. I haven't watched it yet. It's on my list.
TED's actually pretty good.
Is it?
So I'm a couple episodes in.
They do. I saw they throw back a couple things like sitting on the roof, throwing shit at people.
Yeah, it's like a prequel.
It's a prequel.
Yeah, it's a prequel. It's basically with him in high school. Yeah, it's a teenager.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. What about Echo? Did any of us watch any part of Echo?
I watched the first two. I'm not
so much.
It's not grabbing me. I said enough. And then
I didn't see anybody talk about it. That's usually a telltale sign, right? Like if it's good, somebody's gonna talk about it.
Well, the entire first episode is basically just one giant build-up flashback to like Hawkeye. That's the one.
Okay.
Hawkeye.
They had to retell all the stuff that you got bits and pieces of in Hawkeye.
That and then I don't know. I think the one thing that just kind of like threw me about it is like they're desperately just don't have the same flavor as like the Netflix versions of the shows. Like
they're trying, but they can't get there.
They're trying. They made a mistake about not hiring basically all the stunt coordinators. I said back.
No,
basically they released the fight scene between Echo and Daredevil. I said out. They tried to like jazz people up. it is such an awkward fight scene just because, like I said, it's so slow and like,
you know what it is too. So to me, it's the acrobatics, right? They tried to go to the comic accurate Daredevil of him doing all the weird acrobatics in his fights, but it's not gritty.
Yeah,
like the other one was a realistic, like the hall fight that everyone loves. Like he's getting tired, he's throwing a bunch of punches, he's panting the whole time. Yeah, you felt every hit that he took and every hit that he dished out. You felt it. You knew, like,
because he got tired out, he got winded. Like
he got winded. It was a real fight. It wasn't like any CG flips and stuff. Same with when he was in She-Hulk and he's doing all the flips and stuff and like trick shots with the little stick, whatever they're called, right? That he has. Like you start looking at, you're getting away from what made people like that character with Charlie Cox, right? At least Charlie Cox's version. And yeah, I think it's a lot of that where it's trying to emulate it, but it's too fake.
Well, and I think they've learned their lesson because, like I said, I guess so right now, Daredevil Born Again is going through, like I said, a whole ton of reshoots. They're redoing the episode count. They're bringing back people. I said from the Netflix. show. I said over to it. So the showrunner from the guy who did Punisher is doing Daredevil now. So like I think they're trying to bring. I think they're trying to basically bring that flavor back, just because I don't know. The MCU is just it's on life support. Like I honestly am not. Like I said, I'm a comic guy. Like
superhero fatigue, man. It is.
I love me some good comics. It's not even superhero fatigue. It's just like good story fatigue. Like it's just,
and that's the problem too. And that's why movies in general are starting to take a shit because no one's telling a good story anymore. Yeah, I've yet to see a lot of movies where I'm like, I actually enjoy this story.
Like, you know what was really, really good? Like amazingly good. I said, and you guys, I don't know if you can wash your hands. I said lately into this one, but Godzilla -1.
-1 is pretty good.
Really?
It's a great Godzilla movie. Like, and I think it was made for like less than $10 million.
It was made on the cheap because
it made on cheap. But it's a great movie.
If you ever get a chance to go down there's a rabbit hole about apparently all the different, I'm going to call them the Tojo Godzillas, right? The all the different ones each represent something different about like culture, and that one is like regret over like World War II, like an anger. But they each have like a representative theme for the movies. It's like hidden in the movies. I saw that and started watching it. Remembered watching some. I was like, holy shit, they all do.
Yeah, no, it's I said definitely recommend because of Godzilla -1. Like I said, that's probably the best movie I've seen in a while.
And guess what? Good original. I mean, not necessarily original, but good, unique take on that story because it's Godzilla, right? Cool. Angry, mean Godzilla versus pseudo protector Godzilla, right? Like we normally get like he's actually a good guy. He just breaks buildings and stuff. And this one's like, no, he's a fucking dick.
Yeah.
He's just an asshole, just destroying shit to destroy it.
So like, I don't know. Like there's, like I said, for this, like I said, for stuff coming out this year, like I can't believe, like I said, here's the thing. Like I said, there's stuff that I didn't even realize that they had actually filmed. That's already come out. Like I didn't know that they had wrap production and it's coming out so fast. There's a new Ghostbusters movie coming out in March.
Yeah. Like, I knew right there was trailers. I didn't realize that it was ready though. You're right. I saw a list of upcoming movies. I'm like, oh wow, that's coming out already. Because there hasn't been much talk about it because March is getting pretty close.
Yeah, it's really close. So I'm like okay. But there's just not a lot of like man, I'm looking forward to seeing that. I'm like, I'm even starting to get nervous now about Deadpool 3 just because things they're just hyping it up too much. They're hyping it up so much. Like, and I think that everyone's being like, hey, this is gonna save everything. And I just don't know. But yeah, like
it's asking too much of one movie.
Yeah,
you're right. You're going to be, unless it's absolutely just minute by minute amazing,
Yeah,
you're going to be disappointed, which is a high bar. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, other than that, like, I don't know. Like, I'll see the Ghostbusters movie, but
yeah.
that trailer didn't look that great though. But
No,
whatever.
like, well, it's like, I think
You're bringing back all more of the originals, or back in the
but
firehouse.
a little too much.
Yeah.
It looks like they're back a little bit too much.
and I know we talked about,
It works though. If you remember the other one, like at the end where they kind of because they're just Egon's grandkids, right?
yeah.
So with him being dead, it's like basically getting all the people, like it's not like it's a reboot. They still are around. They're just old and retired at this point. So you can bring back Dan Aykroyd. And I don't know if you're going to get Bill Murray back, to be honest. Like, I can't remember.
He's in the trailer. Yeah.
He's in the trailer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they did it. They were able to get him back on
But he looks really
with
old.
Bill Moore.
He's so old.
He is very, very old. You got Ernie Hudson back, right? So you got, I mean, you at least get the original three back playing their original roles.
So I think that, like, when I know we've talked about this before. You know what I would love for them to just come back and do? Is just come back and do like stuff like from like mid 90s, right? Like, so like Face Off. We were talking about Face Off.
Yeah.
Con Air.
That was last episode.
Yeah, like all those types of movies. I'm like, give me some of those movies. I'm like, I don't need a giant $1 million superhero movie. I said a huge giant production movie. Just give me a good story and a good movie.
Yeah, and something fun.
And that's the problem that I see there, that I have, or I shouldn't say that I have, or things. The problem with that mentality is, if you're the studio that's greenlighting all these, and they're like, we're going to make this for $100 million, we'll probably make $350, right? Which is kind of what a lot of those good stories were, right? You know, $75 to $100 million budget, ended up making $300 million. You're like, damn, that movie rocked. The Mummy was a great example of that, right? Started off a whole trilogy. Yeah. Only made a couple $100 million out of it. And that was, to that point, that was a success to start a trilogy back in the day. Now, if you don't make fucking $1 billion, they're like, your shit is awful, you know?
Hey,
so
I'm just saying, I said, since there's nothing good, just go back and watch movies, I said in the past that you haven't seen. Again, I'm gonna continue to harp on this movie until you guys have seen it. Like I said,
Butt Boy.
Go see.
Oh yeah.
Go watch Butt Boy.
71% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes.
Look, the critics don't want to even watch.
No one will touch that one.
Like it beat out the Marvels. I'm like, come on,
that's sad.
Like, come on, like go and watch Butt Boy. It's like I said, you go in with like,
while you're at it, double feature it with Teeth.
Yeah,
right, where the
you go in
vagina teeth
with extremely low expectations, and you get surprised, right? Like I said, look at the tagline: Detective Fox loves his work and alcohol. After going to his AA sponsored ship, becomes the main suspect in his investigation of a missing kid. Fox also believes that people are disappearing up Chip's butt. Like, if that isn't cinematography, I don't know what is. Like, look at this. It touches on addiction, compulsion, career emptiness, and its heart, loneliness. Like, maybe we're all living through hell. I said, maybe it's the hell we're all living in. But Tucker, our initial fan, struck me as hilariously really inspired, an act of vivacious vulgarity.
Ooh, that person busted out a thesaurus.
Hey, look at that. They got some onomatopoeia going, you know?
Yeah. They were definitely breaking out that dictionary, flipping through there and looking for words.
That's a top critic right there.
Yeah, I like the other guy. That says it's good, but he's like, for better or worse, it's a one of a kind experience. Like, I don't know anything else to say.
Everybody loves it. Everybody loves it.
And by the way, this one doesn't have the tomato meter, probably because they didn't pay for it. Because I'm pretty sure you
really.
Yeah, like it's a lot of these things. I'm pretty sure it's kind of one of those, like the JD Power, where you can just pay and get one. Like, you don't actually have to do anything spectacular for it. I think the tomato meter, while it does do some stuff based on that, you can influence it with some dollar bills.
Yeah. So like, I don't know. I think go and watch. I said, you know what? it's not the hero we want, but it's the hero we need.
But no, I think before we get to the other thing, I think you're right, Jerry. I think like honestly, we need to do like a stop, like hit the reset button. These multi-billion-dollar epic movies that are all tied together in these connected universes. As much as I enjoyed it going into up through Endgame, that is not. I don't think even the people who did it can't do it again. We've seen that. You need to go back to looking towards finding good stories, single things. Oppenheimer and Barbie were great examples of some of this, where they were self-contained stories, and they did well because they were compelling. They are not just this same old rehashed bullshit that we've seen over and over again. So
I agree.
All right, I'll step off my soapbox now.
Hey, we go from soapbox. I said from butt boy to soapbox.
So butt boy to soapbox. But Larry, I think it's time for you to do your thing.
Yeah, Rusty.
Shackelford.
Yeah. Pocket sand. If you've enjoyed this podcast, you should probably follow us along on the social medias. We're on Instagram at STS Guys. Guess what? We're on Twitter or X or whatever that thing's called now at STS Guys. And we are still on Facebook at the STS Guys. And I am Larry from the STS Guys.
Shilling like a villain.
Shilling like a villain.
Ding 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 ding. Ding 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 ding.
There's a really good Vanilla Ice interview that I watched on YouTube. That's probably the best thing I've done the past month. What else do we say? Like, nobody's the best. Nobody has podcasts anymore.
Can I just hit it?
Hit all the best.
Because we don't have anybody. Yeah, because podcasting got big. COVID was up there for all that, and then it did. Blah. We're still going ish.
Exactly. And we're good. We are recording right this second.
Yeah.
And I am quite proud of us because even though we might be somewhat inconsistent, we're
still doing
yet.
it.
We're still here. When many
here.
other podcasts have faded away, we are still here.
253 episodes.
Yep. So we're grinding away, guys.
Hey, you know what? I said life may get in the way, but life also finds a way.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park.
Perfect. All right. Well, can I try hit here?
I don't have friends. I got family.
I don't know who's still going.
Word. Everybody. Nobody.
You know what? I said, go and follow. I said Ed's. I said Ed's Star Trek page. I said that's
called a figure universe.
Sure. My figure universe. Yeah.
My figure.
And honestly, I said, Ed, I know. I said if you're still listening, I said it honestly pained me that you retired the butt wasted name. Like,
oh yeah, I was a little sad too.
I was a little. I honestly was a little sad about that. Like,
yeah, I get it.
Though, here's the thing.
I shed a tear. I said I was playing Madame Butterfly in the background. Don't cry for me. I'm already dead.
It's kind of the same reason why we didn't actually call this "Shoot the Shit," right? Because we're like, I get it when you're trying to start something that you want a broad appeal to, maybe butt wasted or shoot the shit. Can't be on there, so you got to pick something that is more free, especially if it's Star Trek related, right? You got to have something that's wider audience appeal. So I you know what, I appreciate it. You still got the name on here, which I appreciate.
Ed, you will always be butt wasted to us.
Yes.
Yep. Hey, I was right. Need to expand to the masses. Yeah. See,
you will always be butt wasted to us. Like it's not going to change. Like that's funny. It's what it is. It's what it is.
What it is.
Perfect. Awesome. All right. Well, times. Jeremy, do your thing.
All right. So for episode 253 of the STS Guys, I've been Jeremy.
Hey, it's Larry.
And I'm Scott.
And we're the STS Guys. Have a great night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.